Bring up the heat.
Broadcasting live, it's the Big 33 Football Classic.
I got no choice but to go hard.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Morgan State University, Maryland's premier public urban research university. Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, a great place to live, work, and play. And powered by Under Armour.
I know it's mid-June, but who's ready for some football? Everyone is when it's the Super Bowl of high school football all-star games. The 61st annual Big 33 Football Classic, Team Maryland and Team Pennsylvania from Landis Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hi, everybody. Great to see you. I'm Phil Shannon alongside Fred T. Ferrier and Jim Catafio. And guys, they've been here all week. They practice all week, but tonight they get to play.
What an exciting day to kick off football season in 2018. Team Maryland trying to break a 3-game losing streak. And for them to do it today, they're going to have to spread the field and get the ball to their skill guys to create some big plays to win this game.
They are neighboring states, but there is bragging rights and a lot of emotion goes into this game tonight.
Like I said, having coached this game twice before, one as a head coach, this game is important. These kids will remember this for the rest of their lives.
Time for the Morgan State University ones to watch. We start with Maryland. Ugo Abasi going to the University of Virginia. Wide receiver-wise, they got to get him the football.
He's a talented kid. He averaged over 21 yards a catch last year, 11 touchdowns. He's headed to Virginia. They're going to have to stretch the field with him and try to get him the ball down the field. At running back, Antoine Squire is going to be part of a 1-2-3 punch. He's really the speed guy of the bunch, rushing for over 1,900 yards and 23 touchdowns last season. And then at quarterback, the pivot. He's the guy who's got to make it happen. For them to be successful, Kendall Bonner is going to have to take them down the field, protect the football, not turn it over, and get them in the end zone.
And the nickname for him is Doc. He'll try to operate tonight. On the Pennsylvania side, the Morgan State ones to watch. At wide receiver from Nazareth High School going to Penn State, Jahan Dotson, one of the quickest guys on the field.
Well, last year, 62 receptions, incredible athletic ability, considered by many the #1 wide receiver in the state.
Coach running the football. AC looked great this week at practice. He's going to get a lot of touches.
I was impressed. His ability to make the cuts, his physical size and his strength and speed are going to give Pennsylvania a good inside presence.
Talk about brains at the quarterback position. Pennsylvania has that going to Harvard. Luke MG, you know a lot about Luke.
Very dedicated, committed young man. Work ethic off the chart. He's so intelligent. Look to Luke Emick tonight to control the offense and make things happen.
Well, the scene is set, and now we're ready. Team Pennsylvania, Team Maryland. It's the Big 33 Classic, and we'll kick it off next from Landis Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Big 33 football is coming at you.
August what? 6th. That's heat
this field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the 61st Big 33 Football Classic. Team Pennsylvania, Team Maryland. On the sidelines, patrolling the sidelines on the Pennsylvania side is Colin Riccabon. On the Maryland side is Joe Miller. And we send it over to Joe with head coach Reggie White. Joe?
Thanks. I'm here with head coach Reggie White, and you've played in this event. You're now getting to coach in this event. How special has this week been for you?
It's been an awesome week. It's almost like a coach's dream to be here. I'm emphatically happy that they chose me, and I promise to do my best this game.
Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Now over to Colin on the Pennsylvania sideline.
Thanks so much, Joe. Here with Mark Evans, the head coach at Manheim Township High School today, the leader of Pennsylvania. A wild week of preparation. You seem amped up. You seem ready. What has this team shown you that can lead to victory tonight over Maryland?
And I believe that once the lights came on and they get inside these white lines, that it's go time. They're all business. They've been all about working hard in practice, but now they just want to play, and I'm anxious to watch them play too.
Get to it, Coach.
You got it. Thank you very much.
Phil, back up to you.
Thank you, Colin. Pennsylvania leads this series over Maryland 10-3. Pennsylvania 4-1 since the rivalry with Maryland resumed after a 20-year hiatus. The last Maryland win was in 2014, the first ever double overtime game in the Big 33, and Reggie White's son had the game-winning catch, right?
Had the game-winning catch in double OT. It's ironic. There's a family connection here. Coach Reggie White, as the head coach, is trying to break a 3-game losing streak, and the last time Team Maryland won, his son was made the game-winning catch. Well, so they're going to try to bring it back in the family. His son, the other son, Nicholas, is also playing, so they got the White connection to try to get it figured out tonight.
And believe it, you know that the Pennsylvania players have been told about that game more than a few times. They want to come out with a win tonight.
And the Big 33 is underway with Maryland kicking away to Team Pennsylvania. Team Pennsylvania on the return up to the 30-yard line, and that's where they will start offensively. The return by Ronald Kent of Harrisburg returns it to the 30-yard line. Our M&T Bank on winning, brought to you by M&T Bank. The keys to this game for Team Maryland.
For Team Maryland, they're going to have to spread the field, get the ball to their skill guys who are fast and quick, and keep Team Pennsylvania off balance.
Coach Catafio for Team Pennsylvania.
All the time, make the big plays.
That's our Bank on Winning, brought to you by M&T Bank. 1st and 10 for Team Pennsylvania from the 30-yard line. The pitch to Faison. On his feet, 5-yard pickup. Picks up 6 yards on the first play. And here's the starters for Pennsylvania. We talked about AC as in our spotlight players, but as far as wide receivers are concerned, they have some good ones. Looking forward to seeing Brandon Clark from State College catch some big balls tonight.
Yeah, they're very athletic, even though they came out on the first set of downs there, and they were in a pro-I formation with a simple toss.
Pickup of 6 on the first down carry by Faison. 2nd and 4 from the 36 from Team Pennsylvania, just underway of the 61st Big 33 Classic. Faison, right side, has the first down for Team Pennsylvania. So 2 straight running plays. Of course, we'll take a look at the Maryland defense. This is a team that has a lot of speed defensively, Coach Ferrier.
You know, defensively, the key for Team Pennsylvania is they're going to line up and run the football. And for Maryland, defensively, they've got to line up and not be afraid to play physical football. They've got to not back down from the size and strength of Team Pennsylvania.
Coach Evans' personality came right out here on the first 2 downs, guys. He's a running football coach, and on the first 2 plays, one up on the toss, another out on the edge with the power read.
Of course, with the Big 33 rules, which we'll go over later, 40% must be passes in this All-Star game. Here's our first pass of the night. The pass to Dotson with the completion outside. Dotson is contained after a 3-yard pickup. MG's first pass to Dotson, 3-yard gain. Here's our Toyota replay.
That's an excellent play by the corner. You'll see the corner get off the block outside, and he's able to come down and make that tackle for a 1 to 2-yard gain. That's an outstanding play by Savage at corner.
Well, you're going to see the bubble screen quite a bit tonight, and they did a great job defensively knocking it down.
So the Dotson completion good for 2 yards. Faison in the backfield. MG out of the shotgun. 3 wideouts bottom of your screen on a 2nd and 8 from the 45. MG to throw it. Far sideline. comes down with the catch into Team Maryland territory down at the 48-yard line. What a grab there by Shaquan Anderson-Butts from Harrisburg High School.
Well, great throw by MG on that time. He threw the comeback route to the sideline on the money, the only place it could be caught by the receiver. Great throw.
Really pretty play. You see the receiver get both feet down and tap toe touch right before it goes out of bounds. Pretty play.
There you see MG talking to Mark Evans, by the way. MG's from Manheim Township. Mark Evans, the head coach at Manheim Township, so he knows the offense. And the Blue Streaks had one of their best seasons ever in school history this past year. 1st and 10 for Team Pennsylvania working in Maryland territory. MG on the keeper, breaks a tackle, and falls across the 40-yard line for an 8-yard pickup on the MG run.
You're seeing a lot of variety here right now in the first set of series here. Pennsylvania's coming out and mixing things up, run and pass.
Stop was made by Ryan Kearney of Howard High School, going to Towson, made the stop. 2nd and 2 coming up for Team Pennsylvania, now working in Maryland territory. Just underway of the 61st annual Big 33 Classic. MG out of the shotgun. Goes right side, going deep down towards the 10-yard line. The adjustment was made, and so was the catch. The grab by Anderson-Butts. The connection twice on this. What an adjustment by Anderson-Butts.
That was solely a great athletic play by Anderson-Butts. The ball was underthrown, but as you know, Coach, big plays occur when the ball's underthrown and the receivers adjust.
That's one of those football 101 plays. You've got a 2nd down and 2 situation. Offensively, you can really run anything you want. It's a great time to take a shot down the field, and that's exactly what Team Pennsylvania did. As a coach, defensively, you've got to kind of anticipate that, hey, this is big play opportunity. Let's be aware of them taking a shot, and that's exactly what Pennsylvania did.
In the Toyota red zone now after that 33-yard completion. 1st and goal from the 6 in the Toyota red zone. Faison with the carry, trips forward, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Maryland defense to clog things up in the middle.
So now this is going to be an important time for Team Maryland. Team Pennsylvania has moved the ball right down the field. They're in the goal line area, 6-yard line, and now those defensive linemen, Malik Morgan, Randy Robinson, Rudy Gooney, and Eric Weaver, those guys have to step up, and Matt Bettarelli, those guys have to step up and tighten up on the defensive line and not allow Team Pennsylvania to just pound the ball in the end zone.
I'm looking for a counter bootleg here, Coach.
Team Pennsylvania started this drive on the 30-yard line, the opening drive of the game. Down to the 6 now. The pitch to Faison. Tries to bounce outside, still on his feet. What a job by Faison to stay up, but a great job by the Maryland defense to make sure he only got 3 yards after that nifty move to stay on his feet.
Great feat by Faison. I mean, he was hit on the line of scrimmage, but he didn't go down. He kept his balance and now put Pennsylvania in a very good situation on a 3rd down and 3.
Good look at it on the Toyota replay down in the Toyota red zone.
That's just old school student body left. Just toss the ball left and take everybody over there and just try and overpower the team. I anticipate them just trying to pound the ball in on the ground here, and really Team Maryland had to step up and not let that happen and really try to hold them to a field goal here.
And there's a timeout on the field. Team Maryland will call timeout to talk about it. Pennsylvania with a 3rd and goal from the 3 when we get back. Just underway at the Big 33 Football Classic.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear. Enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise of battles won.
Honda knows you're always on the lookout for something better. So it's no surprise the Honda CR-V was named the 2018 Motor Trend SUV of the Year. It has an interior that's spacious and refined, handling that's smooth and comfortable, and an exterior that speaks for itself. So if you're looking for something truly impressive, look no further. The CR-V. Nothing compares to a Honda.
It's here, whether you enjoy hunting or fishing, discovering history or cutting-edge technology.
It's here, from delicious chocolate to professional sports, wild roller coasters to endless shopping.
It's here, From fine dining to home-style cooking, exciting nightlife to small-town charm, Dauphin County has it all.
No surprise, we were voted the 12th most livable region in the nation.
It's here. You should be here too.
The Big 33 Buddy Program started in 1985, in which each player in the game is matched with a person facing challenges in his life or her life in hope of fostering long-term relationships. There's a look at some of our buddies both in the football side and the cheerleading side as well. Pennsylvania on a 67-yard drive trying to cash in with a touchdown. MG's pass over the head and incomplete at the front pylon.
Well, it looked like they were running somewhat of a quick out over there rather than a fade ball on the left side. They were trying to get a one-on-one situation, and great defensive coverage, Coach.
Yeah, I really think they just wanted the receiver to get in the end zone and try to throw him a jump ball to jump up over a shorter guy, but they were just off in the connection. You know, that's always tough to get the chemistry and timing down with wide receivers and quarterbacks in these All-Star games where you only get a couple days to practice.
They were looking for Brandon Clark in the reception. Savage was on the coverage. Vlad Hillary trying to walk on at Penn State will try to give Pennsylvania the 3-point lead with the field goal. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. And Pennsylvania is on the board with a 67-yard drive that stalls out for a field goal. Team Pennsylvania 3. Maryland will get an opportunity with the ball when we get back. Team Pennsylvania strikes first. The Pennsylvania crowd likes what they see. 5:49 off the clock, 10 plays, 67 yards, 20-yard field goal. Vlad Hilling puts Pennsylvania on the board, 3-0. Maryland will get an opportunity now, getting the ball kicked to them. Ball rolls out of bounds at the 38-yard line, and a penalty marker comes down. Pennsylvania was pretty impressive. Started off running the football offensively and then mixed in some passes on a long drive that took a lot of time off the clock. Let's go down on the field to Colin Rickabaugh with a special guest. Colin?
Thanks a lot, Phil, here with Shaquan Anderson-Butts. 2 great catches on that opening drive. You and Luke MG, Manheim Township, Harrisburg, hooking up here. How much chemistry did you guys develop during the week?
We developed a lot of chemistry, going through practice every day, just getting better, running the routes, and being on point every day in practice.
What's it been like this whole week getting ready for this game?
It's been an amazing experience with the buddies, your host family. It's just amazing all the week around.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Shaquan Anderson-Butts, Phil, back up to you.
Doc Bonner on the move, has the first down into Pennsylvania territory. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line. That'll be a 10-yard pickup to move the chains for Team Maryland. Pushed out of bounds by David Green and Will Mayer.
Right away, you're going to see the different styles of offense. First play, Team Maryland spreads it out. They want to throw the ball down the field. They force Doc Bonner out of the pocket. He scrambles and gets the first down. But for Maryland to win, they've got to spread it out and take advantage of their skill guys in space.
Maryland, first play, picks up 10 yards and a first down. Bonner hands it off this time in the backfield. It'll be a 6-yard loss. Pennsylvania's defense coming up big.
You know what fans have to understand in tonight's ball game, Coach, is that you have to throw the ball 40% of the time. But a scramble counts as a rush. Great defensive play by Pennsylvania.
6-yard loss on that run. 2nd and 16 now. Maryland on their own 44-yard line, down 3-0 early here, first quarter of the Big 33. Bonner straight ahead, gets back to the original line of scrimmage at midfield.
Bonner is truly a dual-threat quarterback. Throughout the course of last season, he threw the ball for over 1,800 yards, but he also added over 700 yards rushing. So they're going to use him in both phases of the game, throwing it and running it, because he can't get you yards on the ground.
The school that he was at, did they run a lot of option football?
They did.
Okay.
And he's going to Air Force. Was originally committed to Dartmouth. His team made it to the state finals in Maryland both years, but fell short to Wise both times. Bonner going up top. And there's a penalty marker down at the 25-yard line. And there's going to be a pass interference call as you see the clapping hands of the intended receiver, McDonald. Matt McDonald, he's one of the guys who
Maryland.
Now St. Joe's that they want to get the football to.
Pennsylvania. Penalties offset.
Early in this game, you're going to see Team Maryland spread it out and try to get the ball to these guys down the field. You got offsetting penalties there. It was really a defensive pass interference, but they also called it on the offense. I don't really. Oh, there was holding on offense, so you got offsetting penalties, and they got to replay it down.
Well, they got Young from the Pennsylvania side with the pass interference and then the holding on that offensive line to replay 3rd down. So a 3rd and 10 coming up for Team Maryland. Chestnut and Graham in the backfield with Bonner. Play action, rolls out to his right. Looking downfield, fires, has a man, and the completion. 1st down, Maryland, a big strike to the 25-yard line, and that's Matt McDonald. 6'4", 170 pounds, going to Fairmont State. They want to get Matthew McDonald the football.
That's really an athletic play by Doc Bonner to be moving to his right, throw the ball on the run, back across his body, back inside to his left is really an outstanding throw and really right on the money.
25-yard pickup, Bonner to McDonald on that completion. Maryland in business. 1st and 10 from the 25, 3:50 to go, first quarter. And the penalty marker is down. Our referee tonight is Michael Davis in the white hat.
Yeah, can't play the game with 12.
And that's always going to be a little bit of a challenge. You're changing personnel groups and people on the field. You got different coaches from different programs, different players from different programs, and you got to work out those signals and that communication so you don't have those kind of problems.
There is Reggie White. He is one of only 25 active high school football coaches in Maryland with 100 wins. Milford Mill, graduate, took his team to the state title game this year but lost. He won the state title when he played there. Handoff, still on his feet. What a great second effort by Julius Chestnut. Stayed on his feet to try to get positive yards.
It's really a good job by Julius Chestnut. He didn't have a whole lot of blocking there, but he's a big back, 5'11", 6 feet, about 215 pounds, and he's just breaking tackles, just giving great effort there, trying to get positive yards and not lose yardage on the play.
Great penetration by the front 4 of Pennsylvania.
De Silva from West Catholic made the stop for Pennsylvania. 2nd and 13 from the 28. Doc Bonner fires the strike. Obasi with the catch and gets out of bounds. Obasi's a guy they want to get the football. Milford Mills, of course, Reggie White is his coach, so he's a guy that knows what Coach White wants to do. Here's the Toyota replay.
He's a dynamic player. In the onset, I talked about him averaging over 21 yards a catch, and you see him catch a short pass and then get yards after the catch and add about 9 or 10 yards to that running catch to get them in a 3rd and 5 situation.
3rd and 5 from the 20 for Team Maryland. 2:36 to go, first quarter. Pennsylvania with a 3-0 lead after the Hilling 20-yard field goal. Chestnut in motion, and there's a penalty marker down.
Delay game.
Delay a game, so 2 penalties coming on Team Maryland, and we talk about Coach Reggie White. He spent 4 years in the NFL with the Chargers and the New England Patriots. He played on the Millers' 1987 state championship team. We already talked about his son, Reggie Jr. was a great wide receiver at Monmouth and played in this Big 33 game. And Nicholas is an offensive lineman on this team as well. Reggie played at North Carolina A&T State for his NFL career. Bonner to throw, across the middle, in and out of the hands of the tended receiver. Good defense by Team Pennsylvania to make sure that catch wasn't made right at the sticks, which would have been a first down. Ronald Kent of Harrisburg knocks it out of Matthew McDonald's hands.
Great play by the corner. I mean, they ran an inside slant route. The ball was actually on the money, but a great contact and great athletic effort on his part.
Like you said, Coach, that corner really broke on that slant. As the game goes on, look out for Team Maryland to throw a slant and go, to where now they'll show him the slant and then pump it, and he'll go deep, and they'll look to create big plays.
47-yard field goal attempt. Cooper McKeon in for the 47-yard attempt.
This young man is going to the University of Maryland. He's going to kick in College Park, and they're pretty excited. Went 6 for 8 during the season and was perfect on his extra points in the season.
And this kick is up, and the kick is good. So Maryland answers with a field goal of their own from 42 yards out. McGeehan knocks it down in a 3-3 game. So, guys, both teams have an opportunity offensively to kind of feel each other out. Pennsylvania clear on what they want to do. They want to pound the football, and as you mentioned before, Maryland, they want to spread it out a little bit.
That's exactly right. I think it's vintage, and Coach, you can speak on it because you coached in this game, but Pennsylvania wants to just line up and run it. And as Maryland came back right away, they spread it out. They threw the ball down the field. They mixed in a few runs, but that tough defensive front that Team Pennsylvania had is going to make it difficult for Maryland to run the ball.
Any momentum Pennsylvania had, Maryland just took it away by answering. It's quite obvious Pennsylvania right now is going to pound it, and Maryland looks like to spread it. So they're looking for the big plays. But as the game goes on, look for teams to take more shots downfield because you get all that one-on-one coverage.
Yep, absolutely right. It's going to be big for them to just keep that momentum going, for Maryland to find a way to continue to complete passes down the field, and for Pennsylvania to keep running it. In that first quarter, Team Pennsylvania chewed up 9 minutes of clock with that first drive down the field. And if your offense isn't on the field, they can't score points for you. So right now, it's about 9 minutes to about 4 minutes of offense of Team Pennsylvania to Team Maryland.
You know, by running the ball here, the fans should know each team has to throw the ball 40% of the time. And when we get to the fourth quarter, it may play a major role in the outcome of this game.
Both teams with field goals in their first offensive opportunities. Hilling, a 20-yarder for Team Pennsylvania. McGeehan, a 42-yarder for Team Maryland. The Toyota scoreboard reads 3-3 in this Big 33 Classic. Very fitting to have a 3-3 score in the Big 33 Classic. There's a penalty marker down on the Maryland kickoff. Wait for the penalty.
Offside.
The re-kick. Ronald Kent is one of the guys back to
kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Receive the kickoff for Pennsylvania. Saw him make the big defensive stop, and then he had that little dance from Harrisburg. He's enjoyed his week, and there's Coach Reggie White. Milford Mill is school where he went to school means a lot for him. The Millers, he had them in the state championship game. They were up 19-0 and ended up losing that game by 1 in a heartbreaking game in the state championship in the state of Maryland. 1
point away from a state championship. You know, I got a chance to come down and visit practice a couple times this week, and talking to Coach White, one of the things that he reiterated was just, it's such a huge deal and it's such a big honor to be selected to coach in this game. He played in it as a player, being away from home for the first time, where you stay with your host families and you do all the community service stuff, and then going full circle, watching the game develop and getting a chance to lead a team as the head coach is really an honor for him.
Justice Henley will maybe pick up that kick, has it in and out of his hands, picks it up at the 2-yard line and gets up past the 10, and that's where he stopped. Let's go down to the sidelines. Colin Riccabon with a special guest. Colin?
Hey, Phil, here with Jeff Hayes, Dauphin County Commissioners Chairman. Jeff, you just said it to me. Look at the stands. Look at this just atmosphere. What does it mean to have the Big 33 here in Dauphin County?
Well, we've done it for 61 years, so we want to make sure we continue it here. It's a great thing for our kids. It's a great thing for our schools and really for the community. You know, our families have been hosts to other kids from outside the state and the Big Buddy program, and everything has just been a tradition. And that's why we wanted to make sure it stayed here. It is a tradition here in Dauphin County.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
You got it.
Phil, back up to you.
Thank you, Colin. McCray in at quarterback now from St. Joe's, going to Sacred Heart. 6'3", 220 pounds. Now with McCray in there, different style for Pennsylvania with McCray in the game at quarterback.
Well, we competed against McCray, and he is a fantastic guy. He can run, he can throw, he's big and he's strong, so he can do a lot of things, Phil.
What I think you're going to see here now is the defense is going to try to settle in. They had that first drive. Team Pennsylvania went right down the field, and now they got to settle in. They've got the nervousness out, and they can just play.
Final 45 seconds of the first quarter. McCray fires, has the completion for Team Pennsylvania. The catch by Dotson. Dotson with the grab. Dotson's a guy, interesting story, was going to go out west.
Yes.
Was going to go to UCLA and then changed his mind and he's going to go with Coach Franklin and play at Penn State.
Well, you get in the presence of Coach Franklin too often, and he's going to talk you out of going out west, that's for sure.
You know, now Team Maryland has got Team Pennsylvania in a 3rd and 7 situation. This series, they've settled down a little bit. They're flying to the ball. You know, when I visited practice this week, Coach Erxleben, what he talked about was they did pursuit drills and bag drills every day. He wanted the scheme to be simple so those guys could just run around and fly to the football and make plays, and that's what you see them starting to settle in and do now.
Substitution.
Well, right now we're in a major turning point. Maryland, if they hold here, is going to get great field position and an opportunity for more points on the board.
There's Coach Evans. His team penalized there. And that'll be the final play of the first quarter. Tied 3-3 on the Toyota scoreboard in the Big 33 Classic. We're all coming up threes when you're dealing with the Big 33. Maryland, Pennsylvania, 3-3. We'll be back with the second quarter from Landis Field in Harrisburg. And our LifeBridge Health scoring recap. LifeBridge Health Sports Medicine Institute, 3-3 after one quarter, 2 field goals. Team Pennsylvania, Team Maryland exchanging field goals. Team Pennsylvania cheerleaders, it's an honor for them to be part of this Big 33 game. Cheerleaders from Pennsylvania on both sides. Half of the field cheers for Maryland, the other half for PA. Big third down for Pennsylvania. They swing it out to AC, who's still on his feet, has the first down and more. Across the 30, a penalty flag comes down, and he's eventually dragged out of bounds. After the penalty and the first down for Team Pennsylvania, getting AC out of the backfield. We saw a little bit of that in practice this week, Coach.
Well, they worked that screen game all week in practice. I was impressed with the execution in practice, and they did a very good job there. The key was he made the first person miss. And when he made the first person miss, that made the big play.
That's absolutely right. The converse side of that is Team Maryland had to play where if the guy makes the play, he makes the tackle in the backfield, they're off the field, They're getting great field position. The quarterback fakes the pump to one side and then puts the screen into the boundary, and AC does a phenomenal job of making that first guy miss right there and then getting up the field. They got a hold outside by the tackle coming out to block the corner, and it's coming back.
Right.
Would have been about a 22-yard pickup. Bringing it back after the penalty for a third down, 3rd and 6 for Team Pennsylvania.
That was a big play, because Pennsylvania is out of the hole on that play.
It'll be important to see if Maryland can hold again on 3rd down. 3rd downs are so important in football, and the defense has to get off the field, offense has to keep the clock rolling and stay on the field.
McCray in at quarterback. Quarterback St. Joseph's in the state championship game in Pennsylvania this year, lost to Pine Richlands, and he is going to be sacked.
Rudy Gooney, he comes off the edge and makes a play. That young man was a late addition to the game, and he's able to come off the edge, get off a block, and make a tackle. Now, what you see there is it's really a coverage sack because McCray is in the backfield and he's got nowhere to go with the football, and then when he starts running around, Gooney is able to get off the block and make the sack.
That's a great job defensively by Maryland that time. Like you said, it was a coverage sack. They had the receivers covered and the pressure. You can't give the quarterback more than a couple of seconds to throw the football.
Hilling will punt out of his own end zone for Team Pennsylvania. Smith and Jones back deep for Team Maryland in a 3-3 game. The ball was touched at the 40-yard line, and then luckily Team Maryland fell on it, and they will have excellent field position in Team Pennsylvania territory. Savage was the one that ended up falling on it, and that was almost a major muff as Smith had his hands on it. Good thing Savage was at the right place at the right time.
The ball comes up short, and in coaching, you're really telling that young man to call Peter, and get away from the ball and tell everybody else to get away from the football. He was too far away to really go up there and attack the ball because I think he located it late.
Plus, it's an all-star game, and he wants to get the ball, man. You know what I mean?
You're exactly right, Coach. He wants some TV time.
1st and 10 for Team Maryland with excellent field position in the Pennsylvania 28-yard line. Doc Bonner still in at quarterback, gives to Squire. Squire changes his field, heads the other way, but he's going to lose yards. Great pursuit by the Pennsylvania defense. Billy Schaefer in there to make the stop for a loss.
Well, there was nothing originally. There was nothing. He was scrambling in the backfield, trying to make a big play. Great defensive effort by Pennsylvania.
You see the size and strength of the Pennsylvania defensive line and those guys being able to control the line of scrimmage. Maryland has to run the football, but they've got to find some ways to kind of spread them out and run it when Pennsylvania thinks they're going to throw it and pass it when they think they're running it.
2nd and 16 for Team Maryland. Doc Bonner straight up the middle, and the quarterback keeper fights ahead. A penalty marker is down. Doc Bonner, it takes about 3 Pennsylvania players to bring him down.
They ran a great, what we call a power read, and they did an excellent job, but it looks like it's going to be negated by a holding call.
He slides with the speed sweep and pulls it out of there. What you see is a violent disconnect. They're going to get some extra yards because they're going to add a face mask penalty to this. And this is a perfect opportunity for Team Maryland to take the score and really take control of this game. Like you said earlier, they did a great job neutralizing the momentum that Team Pennsylvania had in their first drive by answering to tie the score up. Now with the great field position that they got to find a way to punch it in.
Oh, there's no doubt now. They're definitely they're on the 11-yard line here right now. 4 down territory.
Penalties are starting to add up for Team Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Offensively, in their offensive set, they had a couple of back-to-back penalties, and that one was a big one. Doc Bonner is in a great situation now. 1st and 10 from the 11, so they could get a first down if they get the ball to the 1. The handoff to Chestnut in the Toyota red zone. Chestnut falls forward for 2 yards, and now Uh-oh, some extra stuff happening down on the field, and penalty markers all over the field, and that's the intensity we talked about between these two teams and some of the big guys on that offense and defensive line. They were going at it.
Those guys will get a little chippy. You know, you're playing in an all-star game, you haven't played all summer, and you want to get a chance to play against somebody, but you really got to control your emotions. Everybody knows you can't throw a punch in football, and you got to find a way to, your parents and everybody are here watching, you can't get ejected in a game, in an all-star game, to where you can't even play anymore.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the officials are going to be a little lenient as far as the ejections are concerned, but that's something you've got to keep yourself under control.
And both players ejected.
Were they really?
From the game.
Woo.
So our official, the white hat, is Michael Davis, who does college football games as well as high school. Not going to mess around with that. So both players here in the second quarter in an all-star game get ejected for doing something they know they shouldn't do.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit disappointing. It's going to be absolutely disappointing for their parents and their families who traveled down for the game. And as the play is going on, you'll see those guys kind of get into it, and it starts with a little bit of pushing. You know, the Maryland player is underneath the pads, and, you know, they're trying to make sure nobody wants to back off.
No, that's exactly right.
Nobody wants to back off.
Good look at it there in our Toyota replay. Miller and Dahl, the two players involved, and they're going to spend the rest of this game watching from the sidelines.
You know, as a coach, you just get into that. It's really one of those selfish things. You got all these people here to come watch you play in the game, and now all of a sudden, because you can't control your emotions, you're kicked out, and you can't even finish playing the game. And your parents are there, your fans, and people from your high school. It's just disappointing, and there should be much more congeniality and friendship, sportsmanship things going on in an all-star game.
I'll be honest, I was somewhat surprised that they kicked him out on the first time it occurred. You know what I mean? I thought they'd be a little lenient on it, but they set the tone now.
Yeah, I think when you get 3 or 4 punches apiece, I think it's pretty much no option on the part of the refs.
2nd and 10 from 11. Team Maryland. Pitch to Chestnut. Right side doesn't get much. Maybe a yard and a half.
I have one of our guests over
Will
there.
Mayer was there to knock his feet out from under Chestnut.
Team Pennsylvania is really doing a great job controlling the line of scrimmage. You see the pursuit inside out by the linebacker. 26 comes across, and he really makes a fantastic tackle. You know, that's what you want from a linebacker. You want the line tied up by your defensive linemen so that those linebackers can run free and go make tackles. And Team Pennsylvania, their defensive front did a good job of that on that play.
Boy, we're just seeing a lot of penalties here right now that both teams are really hurting themselves.
Busiest guy so far in this game is Michael Davis. He's our official. A lot of penalties here in the first quarter and a couple of minutes there. The second quarter, Maryland hurts themselves. 2nd and 19, back to the 20 now. Doc Bonner comes to the right side, keeps his eyes downfield and fires the ball incomplete down to the 10-yard line. Looking for Jamari Jones. They call him Juice. That's one of the guys they want to get the football to. They believe that Jones could be a difference both on special teams and receiving the football. Here's a look in the Toyota replay.
You know, Doc Bonner, he's good at being able to make a play when he gets out of the pocket. They've got to find a way to get him involved. The thing that's a little bit scary is he keeps throwing the ball back into the middle of the field across his body when he's rolling one way, and that can be a little bit tricky. He has some success with it early, but he can't go to it too much. They're backed up at the 20-yard line, and they got to find a way to get points here.
Bonner on a 3rd and 19. The option pitch to Squire. Stays on his feet, tries to hobble up close to the line of scrimmage. Julius Chestnut. It's back to the line of scrimmage. We head down to the Pennsylvania sidelines. Colin Riccabon. Colin?
Hey, Phil, here with Luke MG, the quarterback here for Pennsylvania and Manheim Township. You played for Coach Evans. What's it like now in this situation?
He's a little more calm, actually, which is nice. But, you know, it's great to be out here with him again. Just one more chance to play for him. It's an unbelievable experience to be out here with him.
What are you looking forward to as you head to Harvard next year?
I'm looking forward to just kind of playing at the next level and just building a bond with all the teammates up there. I'm really excited for that experience.
What's it been like this week?
It's been a dream come true. Out here, working with such a talented group of guys and just getting better. And I'm happy it's finally the game.
Congratulations. Best of luck. Phil, I'm not going to trade smarts with a guy going to Harvard.
Cooper McGeehan's field goal block. Pennsylvania wants to return it for a score. Down the sidelines they go, and Pennsylvania returns the block kick. It was a 38-yard field goal attempt blocked, and Avery Young scoops it and scores down the far sideline for a Pennsylvania touchdown. Maryland was about to go up 6-3, block kick. And how about that after the bobble hold? Take a look at it right here on the Toyota replay. Kick up and blocked, and then look at him right in the right spot. DeSalvo blocked it, and Avery picked it up, the scoop, and the score on the field goal block.
Being at Coatesville High School, I can't be prouder, but Avery Young is a man that's made big play after big play. In the district championship game, he ran back an interception, 89 yards to win the game with 10 seconds to go.
Coach Jim Catafio, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at that very school.
Coatesville
High School, yes. And Coatesville had a great year this year, and that man is going to
Rutgers University.
So how about that? But now the officials are talking, so let's make sure this is
illegal procedure, illegal rush. Linebacker going over the middle of the field.
Wow.
5-yard penalty. Repeat,
Coach
4th down.
Farrier, what do you think? They're bringing it back.
You're only allowed to rush 8, and you've got to rush through the man you line up on.
You talk about some momentum swings here. Team Maryland getting ready to go in and take control of the game. They had the ball all the way down to the 11-yard line and end up with a blocked field goal, which is returned for a touchdown. You can see the guy rushing through the gap. He jumps the gap on the left-hand side.
Yes, can't do it.
You can't do that.
You got to rush through the shoulder, whether it's inside or outside or head. You got to rush through the shoulder. He jumped the gap.
He jumped over the gap.
That's a good call.
And here's some of our Big 33 rules. No blitzing, man-to-man, or zone defense. Clock does not stop out of bounds and incomplete passes. You see the rest of the rules on your screen. 40% pass rule. And Coach Catafio, you were part of making these rules.
Yes.
And they're needed. Why are they needed? Why are these rules special for this All-Star game?
Well, it's competition out here, and one of the things is you want to put on a show. So you want to give him, with the little amount of time you have to practice, you have to limit what the defense can do.
Let's go down on the Maryland sidelines and check in with Joe Miller. Joe.
Thanks a lot. I'm here with Captain Jonathan Bowman of the United States Marines. And Captain Bowman, why is it important for the United States Marines to be involved in an event like this?
Well, we love being here with these young men that model the core values that we hold so dear: honor, courage, and commitment. Every day they come to school, they put in the work for their grades, not only football, and they come out and they leave it all here on the field, and we love to see that. We love to be a part of that, and we like to be a part of any kind of organization where we can give back to the community that we've come from and help build better citizens and more ethical leaders for tomorrow.
Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Phil, back up to you.
Thank you. Deja vu time. Cooper McGeehan will be on the kick. 33-yard attempt after the penalty wiped off the Pennsylvania return. Kick is up by McGeehan, and the kick is good. 2 field goals by McGeehan. He's going to the University of Maryland. This kid can kick. Maryland takes the lead on our Toyota scoreboard, 6-3 over Pennsylvania. 7:21 to go, second quarter. Things are heating up here at the Big 33.
With the card most accepted by top doctors and specialists, you have the compassion of the cross and the security of a name, giving you the strength to drive forward. Capital Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Welcome to the future. Imagined by visionaries, championed by leaders, and focused on results. Made real through hard work and a determination to build the things that people count on. Places where ideas are born, where progress fuels growth and strengthens communities. It's work that makes a difference. United Rentals. You're building the future. We're here to help.
Beautiful shot there, Landis Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The leg of Cooper McGeehan has Team Maryland up 6-3, looking to end a losing streak against Team Pennsylvania. Last win for Team Maryland was in 2014. PA leads this series 4-1 since the rivalry resumed after a 20-year hiatus. PA and Maryland played consecutively from 85 to 92 and then took a break as PA played Ohio for a number of years after that. Ronald Kent on the return for Team Pennsylvania. That was an 8-play, 12-yard drive. Took off 2 minutes off the clock, ended with that 33-yard field goal.
Ton of emotions on that last drive by Team Maryland. They got a chance to go in and take control of the game with a touchdown. They're all the way down to the 11. It ends up in a blocked field goal return for a touchdown, which is negated by a penalty, and then they end up with points to go up 6-3. Pennsylvania has to find a way to take back control of this game. It's been up and down, back and forth, but they got to get back to running the football.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to do here right now when they come out in a pro I set.
Faison in that pro I, featured back, and he gets the carry. Number 1 has it, breaks through the line of scrimmage, has a first down and more, still on his feet, cuts down the sideline, and knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Big run. Savage made the stop for Maryland, running him out of bounds before Faison even got more yards. A 22-yard pickup on Pennsylvania on the running play.
Excellent job here. They ran a counter gap to the right side, great cut back to the left. Shows great acceleration on the corner, big play, first down almost at midfield.
When he gets going, he's hard to get down. He's a big, strong, powerful back, and he's pretty to watch.
1st and 10 for Team Pennsylvania. Down 6-3 after McGeehan's 2 field goals. McGeehan, by the way, going to the Pitt, University of Pittsburgh, not Maryland, as I mentioned earlier. The give to AC, and he loses 3 yards. Let's head down on the field. Joe Miller on the Maryland sidelines. Joe?
Thanks. I'm here with the offensive star so far, Cooper McGeehan from River Hill High School. And Cooper, not a lot of people think about high school all-star games and think about the kicker, but so far you've hit 2 for 2 so far. How you think you've performed so far this evening?
I think I did pretty well. I was really nervous in the beginning, not gonna lie. I had a lot of butterflies, but when I kicked it, I felt good and slowly progressing, getting better and better.
How has this experience been this week for you?
Oh, it's been an amazing experience, staying with the host family, staying with my buddy Brian up there. He's up there right now cheering for me, and it's been amazing.
Thanks so much. Phil, back to you.
Cooper McGeehan going to the University of Pittsburgh. 2nd and 13. MG fires, incomplete.
Well, a little miscommunication on that one there. MG had a lot of time in the pocket that time, but there was excellent coverage.
Take a look at it on the Toyota replay. Looking for Taylor was the intended receiver. Good coverage, as you mentioned, Coach, by Maryland.
Excellent coverage.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who he was throwing the ball to. There may have been some miscommunication on what the play was, because you had a guy come underneath and a guy going deep on the sideline, and neither one of those guys were going for that football.
Well, MG and Coach Evans did something special. Manheim Township snapped Wilson's 68-game Lancaster-Lebanon regular season win streak and route to winning the LL Section 1 crown for the first time since 2007, and a phenomenal year for the Blue Streaks. MG fires. Ball will be intercepted by Maryland at the 30-yard line. MG threw it up, and it picked off by Maryland. First turnover of the game, and Maryland is back in business.
Well,
Akoki from Weiss makes the interception.
Yeah, he rolled left, pulled up, and tried to throw back right and let it hang in the middle of the field. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Bad things will happen when you do that. He severely underthrew the ball down the middle. Great play by the defensive secondary by Maryland.
Any key to any football game and winning is to protect the football. They've got to find a way to not turn the ball over. Your trigger man has to make sure, if he doesn't have anything, to throw it out of bounds and just give us a chance to play the next down.
Koki from Wise. Right now, the power in Maryland football. They've won 44 in a row. A couple of state championships as well, since that school's been playing football the last couple of years. Pass over the middle, complete. Oh, what a grab. I think he caught it. No, incomplete. Look at Ronald Kent making sure that catch was not made, but boy, it looked like he almost had it. We'll take a look at the Toyota replay.
Ripped it out at the end.
And just ripped it out.
It did.
Yep.
Wow.
It did.
Ronald Kent of Harrisburg made a big play right there. Well, that would have been a big play for Maryland going down deep down the field, and I'll tell you, a couple of big plays by that Pennsylvania secondary.
He did not give up on that play defensively because the offensive guy had better position, but he went after the ball and ripped it out.
2nd and 10, 4:56 to go in the first half. Bonner fires downfield. Ball is in the air and knocked down. Dante Anthony was the intended receiver, and Ronald Kent was there again. Ronald Kent's having a game tonight from Harrisburg High. This was a kid that was so excited to play in this Big 33 because he grew up with the Big 33 game right around him as a youngster.
Well, that was a jump ball again. I mean, we're throwing the ball up in the air. You've seen it here, back-to-back quarterbacks throwing the ball up in the air and hoping for something good to happen when we really had nothing open.
Ronald Kent started playing football at the age of 5 at Sunshine Park. A track, wrestling, and baseball three-sport athlete. Bonner to throw the football, has the completion in Pennsylvania territory. A first down for Team Maryland, and that is Hugo Obasi. And penalty markers all over the field as Obasi gets down to the 31-yard line. And Maryland first down.
He's one of the playmakers for Team Maryland. They're going to get an extra 15 yards here with the face mask. But he's a guy who, when you get him out of space, he's running good routes. He's getting open. And Doc Bonner is starting to develop a little bit of chemistry with him. He's got him. Doc Bonner has to move in the pocket. He finds him going across the middle. And Obasi, again, yards after the catch. That's always key when you're moving the football.
Obasi is Team Maryland's highest-rated football prospect. He had offers from Wisconsin, Vanderbilt, Pitt, Rutgers, Duke, Illinois, and Temple, among others, but signed with Virginia, and we're seeing his ability. And as Coach Ferrier mentioned, the chemistry between him and Doc Bonner starting to play a role here for Team Maryland. Squire, the handoff right side, gets a couple of yards for Team Maryland.
What you see is Chestnut and Squire. That's kind of thunder and lightning. Squire is the small, quick guy. Chestnut is the big, strong guy. But they just tried to run him off tackle there, which is really a power play. They were in 21 personnel, which is really a run-intensive personnel group, and they're trying to pound the ball at Team Pennsylvania. They spread it back out with 20 personnel, 2 backs and 3 receivers, and we'll see what they do here.
2nd and 6 from the 13. Squire and Chestnut both in the backfield. They give it to Squire. Short little gain.
Pennsylvania had great penetration on the inside wall. He tried to cut back. There was nothing cut back, so they got a couple of yards on it.
Let's head down to the field to Colin Riccabon. Colin.
Thanks so much, Phil. Here with Jason Klippa, corporate affairs representative from Walmart. Why is it important for Walmart to be involved in the Big 33 in a game like this?
It's such a great program that they run. It's near and dear to my heart. I grew up in Hershey, so I was a host family for about 10 years. So I was able to see what the Coaches Association did and the Buddy program. And now representing Walmart and seeing the reach that the program has all across the state. We serve the entire state and have stores everywhere, so it's the perfect kind of program for us at Walmart.
Thank you so much, Jason, and thank you, Walmart. Phil, back up to you.
Thank you, Colin. Incomplete pass, looking for Squire out of the backfield to bring up a 4th down. And our early star, Cooper, again, is going to have another opportunity. And take a look at this on the Toyota replay. Some heavy pressure there on the quarterback coming from the Pennsylvania side.
He's not able to get off a clean pass. He's holding the ball in the pocket, and the defensive lineman gets to him, gets his hand on his arm, and he's not able to really finish his throw and get the ball out to the back on the swing pass.
McGeehan now with a 31-yard attempt. He already has a 42-yarder and a 33-yarder. All of Maryland points. This one is blocked for the 2nd time by Team Pennsylvania. Deja vu. Could they scoop and score again?
I wouldn't doubt that they did the same thing they did before, but another big play there by Team Pennsylvania.
Charlie Catcher was the one that scooped it. Pennsylvania will have the football when we get back. Down by 3 with 2:39 to go, 2nd quarter. The Big 33 Football Classic. 2nd time this has happened to Team Pennsylvania. Charlie Catcher the block, and then the return. Take a look at our Toyota replay on this block field goal by Charlie
no
Catcher.
good.
Looked like he did the same
Same thing.
that happened with Young when he blocked it and then scooped and scored.
If there was replay, that would be called back. He came through the gap.
So essentially broke the rule just like the last block kick, but this time wasn't called by the officials. So
Exactly.
Pennsylvania catch a break. McCray in at quarterback. 1st and 10 for the 46 from Pennsylvania. McCray will keep it himself. Running the football, has the first down, picks up 11 yards on the quarterback keeper into Team Maryland territory for Marquez McCray.
Yeah, Marquez McCray, tremendous football player, St. Joe's Prep. Led St. Joe's Prep into the state championship game. Very athletic. He's big and he's strong, and he can make those kind of plays on any given play.
You see that athletic ability right there. He's in the pocket. He makes a guy miss. Very athletic, gets out in the open field and gets a first down on the scramble. Great job by him.
McCray, the first starting black quarterback in school history at St. Joe's Prep for the Hawks. 13-1 this season, as Coach mentioned. Lost to Pine Richlands. Richlands in the 6A title game, 41-21. And there's a timeout by the Team Pennsylvania side. They want to talk things over as they find themselves down 6-3 on the Toyota scoreboard with just 2:04 to go. And new rules this year as far as speeding up the game. So we are moving at a pretty good pace here. After a play, even an incompletion out of bounds, as soon as the ball is set, the clock starts running. So traditionally, sometimes these all-star games run 3 hours, 40 minutes, sometimes a little longer. Not the case now.
Yeah.
Let's head down on the field to Colin Riccabon with Cumberland Valley High School and going to future Penn State Nittany Lion, Charlie Catcher. Colin?
Hey, Phil, you can bet James Franklin probably would jump for joy after that play. Charlie Catcher, take me through it, the block and the recovery.
We've been working on that block all practice, both shoot the A-gap, and I guess my gap was real free. I went through it, just kind of put my arms up there, trying to nick it a little bit. Got it, got my head up, saw it there, and just tried to grab it and get upfield.
Here you go, Cumberland Valley now to Happy Valley. How excited are you to get down there and just get started with James Franklin and Nittany Lions?
I'm really excited to get down there, get in the weight room, start running again, and see what next year holds for me.
Thanks, Charlie. Best of luck. Phil, back to you.
Catcher almost produced close to 1,500 all-purpose yards at Cumberland Valley. Cumberland Valley 10-3, lost to Manheim Township in the playoffs, 24-21. Great college career for him. AC gets the call up the middle for Team Pennsylvania. The first opening series, Fred T. Ferrier, Pennsylvania showed their muscle by running the football. They've kind of gotten away from that a little bit here as this game has moved on in the first half.
One of the keys that I talked about was defensively, Team Maryland had to play physical against Pennsylvania's offense. They had to not back down from the size and strength. And after that first series, they've really settled into their own, and they're really doing a good job against the run.
There's no doubt when you get into an all-star game, the urge is that you have to throw the football. You have to throw the football. Pennsylvania hasn't really got into a set routine here right now. They had an open receiver on the sideline. He overthrew him on the out route.
It's always a little bit tough when the quarterback is rolling to his left. He had an open receiver. That's a very difficult throw. Marquez McCray is capable of making that throw, but just missed it on that second down play.
Now, I mentioned the time clock running, but under 2 minutes at the end of in the second quarter and the fourth quarter, the clock does stop. Pennsylvania going up top, far sideline, and incomplete, looking for the pass interference call. And Anderson Butts, who had some big catches early in this game, not going to get the pass interference call. Brown was on the coverage. Take a look at it in our Toyota replay. A lot of contact down the sidelines.
A lot of contact, but we don't know if the ball was in the air, so that's legal.
You know, the defensive player, as long as he turns and looks for the ball, he's got an opportunity to put his hand on the hip of the offensive player. So he does a good job by when that contact happens, he turns and looks for the ball. It puts him in a fourth down situation. They're really outside of field goal range, but they're going to go ahead and try a 56-yarder.
Wow.
56 yards. Vlad Hilling on. Going to Penn State to kick from Hollidaysburg. One of the biggest weapons Hollidaysburg had this year, kicking the football because he had the distance. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 56 yards. That might be a Big 33 football record, but there's a penalty marker down. Looks like it's going to be roughing the kicker, and the 56-yarder will stand.
So now the question becomes, as a head coach of this team, do you want to take the points off the board and take the 15-yard penalty, or do you want to just take the points? There's a minute and 28 seconds. What's the call, Coach?
It's an all-star game. Take the penalty and go for points. You know what? Some coaches would say, you know what? I'll be happy going into the locker room 6-6.
Take a look. Just how far was it? Was it 56 or maybe even more? I mean, what a boot.
And think about this. I would think that is a Big 33 record.
Gotta be. So they'll take the points.
Yes.
56 yards officially.
He boomed it.
And there was room. There was room. That was a heck of a kick.
And the great thing about that, if that is in fact the record, he gets to go on the record, the history of this game, to have the longest field goal is a tremendous honor.
So with all the offensive weapons on both Pennsylvania and Maryland's side, did you ever think it would come down to just two kickers? It's 6-6 here in the closing minutes of the first half.
Mention, this is the first game that the defenses can play some type of zone coverage. Before, the corners could never be any deeper than 7 yards off the ball. Now, if you look at the corners, they're deeper than 7 yards off the ball. They're giving more cushions, and so they're not allowing the big play. Where before, you had to be 7 or closer, and the rules have changed. And like I know some coaches were saying, is it going to take away from the offensive production of the game?
Here's Coach Evans. He's thinking exactly that. He thought this thing, using the iPad technology to check things out, looking things over. And that's a good point, Jim, because, so much this Big 33 was a lot of points. I mean, you're talking about 40, 50 points. The scores would be that type. And you were wondering, can we make it more? Can we give the defense a little more of an opportunity to be a part of the game? And I think they've done that with this. And there's nothing wrong with a 6-6 game. This has been a lot of fun here in the first half.
Hey, I'm an offensive coach, and if you're going to play a corner at 7 or 8 yards off against me, hey, no problem. We're going to throw hitches all day. You got Obasi out there. You got some of the other kids. You got Juice. Throw those kids a hitch. Let them make one guy miss and take it to the house.
Yeah, before, when it was straight man-to-man on every play, you would put your trips into the short side boundary and put your one receiver to the wide side and make it a one-on-one game.
Absolutely.
Charlie Catcher to kick off for Team Pennsylvania with a 6-6 game, 1:28 to go before the half. Catcher's feeling good. Touchback. Maryland will take over 1st and 10. Toyota scoreboard has this game tied at 6.
So now the tricky situation for a coach here with 1 minute and 28 seconds, you got a choice. Do you run the ball a couple times, get the clock running, get out of the half with a 6-6 game, or do you open it up, throw the ball down the field with the possibility of going 3 and out? You're going to stop the clock after each incompletion and possibly give Team Pennsylvania the ball back.
My guess is they're going to throw the football. And they have too many men on the one went off the field.
They got 4 wides in. They're going to try to throw the ball. They're going to go deep. They got Juice over here to the field. They got Obasi into the short side of the field, and they're going to throw the ball.
Holly in at quarterback gets the completion to Jones. Jones is the guy, the playmaker they want to get the football to. Jamari Jones has a ton of speed, and Holly, we're seeing him for the first time at quarterback. Doc Bonner played majority of the first half.
That was a perfect example how the new rules came in. Pennsylvania was in a 5-under man with a 2-deep zone behind it. That makes a difference. And they're doing the same thing right now. They're in a 2-deep structure.
That's Jones in motion for Team Maryland on a 2nd and 4. Holly can run. Nice move there. Spin move, still on his feet. Has a 1st down and more, pick up of 15 yards as Holly gets out of bounds, and you see his athletic ability. Holly from Perry Hall going to Morgan State. He's a great basketball player. Perry Hill won back-to-back state championships in basketball.
Holly is athletic when he's back there in the quarterback. As Coach talked about, they're in this zone and they're dropping everybody into coverage. If he pulls it down and takes off running, there's usually nobody there. So just in that situation, he's able to get a 1st down, and he's smart enough to get out of bounds and stop the clock. They lost some good, important seconds with that 1st down completion.
41 seconds to go before the half. 6-6 game. Pass incomplete to Jones. A little bit out of his hands, and now we see some extra stuff going on the Maryland sidelines. 2 players ejected. One from Maryland, one from Pennsylvania earlier for throwing punches. And here getting a little chippy again on the Maryland sidelines. Young involved after Jones couldn't hang on to the Holly pass.
See, with the old rules in place, you would be able to go for the big play on every one of the downs because you can predetermine how the defense had to line up. Now they're playing back in zone. It's more difficult.
2nd and 10. Team Maryland's 45-yard line. It'll pass out to Graham. Graham's still on his feet and brought down the 49-yard line.
So 4-yard gain, they've got 30 seconds. It's going to be 3rd down here, 3rd and about 6. You really want to run some kind of play to get you to the 1st down sticks and see if you can just keep the ball moving and get out of bounds.
The other thing, too, is they got the great field goal kicker. So the way this game is going, get the ball on the other side of the 50 and go for the field goal.
They need about 15, 20 yards to get in field goal range.
3rd and 6, 30 seconds left. The first half of the Big 33 Football Classic. Holly going up top, down to the 10-yard line. Wide receiver readjusts, and that is Anthony May. Incomplete. Big target there. May 6'6", 195. Pretty good basketball player as well, going to Alderson Broadus.
Yeah, he's a big athletic guy. You know, a couple years ago we had him in camp. We really liked him a lot. As a high school student athlete, he's athletic, he can move, and they got to find a way to take advantage of that height and size.
I thought he was going to make a great play on that because the ball was underthrown, but he wasn't able to get enough traction to come back for it.
You see the Maryland coaches on their sideline yelling and screaming. They're looking for pass interference on that.
Fred T. Ferrier with us in the booth, former Morgan State University head coach and Kentucky State University coach, and Jim Catafio, Pennsylvania Hall of Fame coach, been a head coach for 32 years with 262 wins and 12 league championships. In the booth with me tonight, and Joe Miller on the Maryland sidelines, Colin Rickabon on the Pennsylvania sidelines. An honor to be with you tonight. There's Coach White. He's working it in the first half. 6-6 game, 22 seconds to go before the half. This Big 33 Classic, no touchdowns in the first half.
That?
All field goals. That might be a record as well.
If you're a betting man, would you bet there'd be
we'd have to go back
4 field goals?
We'd have to go back in the record books and look at that. I don't know if there's been a Big 33 game without a touchdown in the first half.
There's definitely a lot of offensive firepower out there on both teams, and at halftime they're going to have to talk about both sides, how to get that firepower going.
Ronald Kent, he's dangerous. He loves to return kicks from Harrisburg High School. Is back to return it for Team Pennsylvania with 20 seconds to go before the half. Kick will bounce shy of the 10-yard line and roll into the end zone with 12.4 seconds remaining, and there's a penalty marker down at the 38-yard line. There's been enough whistles in this first half and a lot of flags.
Coach Evans is giving the referees, the officials, a very hard time over here on this sideline. Something happened to get them going, and he's been giving the referees an earful.
So it looks like Ronald Kent wanted timeout, was signaling for timeout, and wasn't awarded the timeout, and that's what has Coach Evans all upset on the sidelines. Team Pennsylvania wanted to call time.
Substitution on the defense, 12 men on the field, 5-yard penalty, repeat, 4th down.
Team Pennsylvania had 12 players on the field. Take a look at the Toyota replay. Kent clearly saying, could I have time? I have too many on the field. Give it to me. They gave him a flag instead.
That's one of those deals where sometimes you turn around and there's really only 1 or 2 seconds, or the officials feel like they don't get it before the snap, and sometimes it's just a judgment call. There's a human element to the game, and sometimes that's just part of it.
Maryland's going to go. No, they're not. I thought maybe they might go for it here and then take a shot.
Look at those beautiful Maryland helmets just a second ago. Idell fitting them with the helmets, Under Armour with the uniforms. Guys looking great. 12.4 seconds. Oh! Just got that one off.
Yeah.
The bounce. Kent's going to stay away from it. Inside the 5-yard line, it'll be touchdown around the 2.
That's the half.
Time now for our Morgan State University Smart Play. And it was this, Charlie Catcher coming through with the block kick, and then the scoop and the 22-yard return for Team Pennsylvania. That is our Morgan State University Smart Play of the first half. And we're tied at 6-6 in the Big 33 Football Classic. Who would have guessed it? All the star power and no touchdowns. It's been a battle of the two kickers. We're tied at 6. LifeBridge Health Sports Medicine Institute score recap. We're at the half. It's been all field goals. Maryland and Pennsylvania tied 6-6. Vlad Hilling and Cooper McGeehan, the two kickers for Team Pennsylvania, and Team Maryland getting it done. Speaking of getting it done, how about the cheerleaders from Team Pennsylvania and Team Maryland? Let's take a look and a listen to the Big 33 cheerleaders. What a job at the half by the Big 33 cheerleaders. And I was here a couple of times this week, and believe me, as hard as the football players were working, with the cheerleaders and their buddies were working just as hard to get ready for this halftime show. And what a great halftime show it was. How great will the second half be? We're all tied at 6-6 in the Big 33 Football Classic. Maryland, Pennsylvania, 6-6 tie. We'll be back from Landis Field in Harrisburg.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. Battles are won within. Over enemies of fear. Enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise of battles won.
Honda knows you're always on the lookout for something better. So it's no surprise the Honda CR-V was named the 2018 Motor Trend SUV of the Year. It has an interior that's spacious and refined, handling that's smooth and comfortable, and an exterior that speaks for itself. So if you're looking for something truly impressive, look no further. The CR-V. Nothing compares to a Honda.
It's here, whether you enjoy hunting or fishing, discovering history or cutting-edge technology.
It's here, from delicious chocolate to professional sports, wild roller coasters to endless shopping.
It's here, from fine dining to home-style cooking, exciting nightlife to small-town charm. Dauphin County has it all.
No surprise we were voted the 12th most livable region in the nation.
It's here. You should be here too.
Welcome to the future. Imagined by visionaries, championed by leaders, and focused on results. Made real through hard work and a determination to build the things that people count on. Places where ideas are born, where progress fuels growth and strengthens communities. It's work that makes a difference. United Rentals. You're building the future. We're here to help.
Beautiful look at the sun setting in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on a beautiful mid-June night for the Big 33 Football Classic. Maryland and Pennsylvania tied 6-6, 205 total yards between these two teams. We head down to the sidelines to Joe Miller. Joe?
And thanks a lot. I'm down here with two doctors from LifeBridge Health Sports Medicine Institute. First talking to Dr. Craig Bennett, and you're not only down here watching, you're helping out. I saw you taping up some fingers. Why is it important to be down here and being a part of the Big 33?
Well, it's exciting to be here and represent and help our guys, represent our state. And as an orthopedic surgeon, you know, football is a collision sport, so injuries to some extent are inevitable. So you want to recognize them right away and manage them right away. So it's nice to be down here and help out.
Also, Dr. Kevin Crutchfield down here, who's a neurosurgeon, and you spend some time on the sidelines on the NFL with the Baltimore Ravens. How's that different from being down here on the high school sideline?
Well, they're huge in the NFL. I can see the game here. I can't see anything during a Ravens game, so you have to go on the edge or watch it on the Jumbotron to see the injuries. Here, we have a better view, but some of these kids are phenomenal.
Oh, it's a good game.
It's a very good game.
And we were talking before the game a little bit that, you know, obviously we still have some strides to be made, but this game is getting safer.
Well, I think we made a lot of strides in education. You know, when the San Francisco 49ers rookie linebacker retired, someone asked me, what do you think of that? And I said, well, he made an educated decision. You know, if we educate people about injuries, I think it makes the game safer.
Dr. Crutchfield, Dr. Bennett, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, great. Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the second half as well.
Will do.
All right, back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much. We're at the half, tied 6-6 in the Big 33 Football Classic. Our halftime show will roll on from Harrisburg and Landis Field.